Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the last year for the 6th generation Chevrolet Camaro. This is a 2024. It is the 2SS, finished off in red hot, and the MSRP is just over $56,000. So if you are in the market for a Camaro with that naturally aspirated engine, this is your final year. This 2SS is powered by that NA 6.2 liter V8. This model is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque, sent to those rear wheels. Now this weighs in right around 3,900 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be right around 4 seconds. Top speed is 165 miles an hour. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, this 6th generation has been around for about 8 years now, with some subtle changes over the years, but not too many, to be honest. For the hood, this does have a functional heat extraction vent, very nice lines coming down both sides of that. And then for the headlights and grille up top, it has that recessed design, Chevy bow tie in the middle, tons of cutouts. There's LED for all of the lighting. The turn signal even goes into the grille a little bit, and there's a secondary DRL in that lower section. The rest of the lower mesh is finished off in gloss black. There's also some additional cutouts to provide even more aerodynamics for this muscle car. Now this one also has a very nice set of 20-inch wheels. They complement that red hot very nicely, and this even has the Brembo brakes. So those are in all 4 corners. Camaro badge is just behind that. There's body colored side mirrors, a sunroof for this model as well. And then all the window trim is blacked out, and the Camaros have such a wide rear fender arch with those contoured lines there. It has a nice coupe-like design to it. Again, nothing really has changed much over the years, but it has a great design. We have a pretty decent sized trunk mounted spoiler, third brake light in the middle with the 3D design for those taillights. This does have a backup camera with all these sensors, and then that quad tip dual exhaust, which we can take a listen to. Definitely has a good sound to it. From there, you can use the button on the key fob to open up the trunk, or what I love, more convenient option, push that button down below by the camera. Now with the Camaro, it has a little bit narrow of an opening, but there's a decent amount of space. You can also fold down the back seats if you want a little bit more room. There is a little bit under the floor too, not enough for a spare tire, but if you have some smaller items, you could place them back there if you needed to. Now as we work our way to the interior, for this 2SS, there's leather and brushed aluminum accents for the door panel. There's a trunk release, Bose audio, a little bit of storage, even memory seating controls too. And then Camaro is spelled out down on the door sill. And take a look at these Recaro sport bucket seats. They have leather, suede, and this gray accent, which is nice to see. And you can even fold them forwards to hop into the back seat. Now I hopped into this in the full review. For now, I'm just going to talk about it. We have wireless charging, no passenger legroom on that side. So you're not really buying this to put people in the back, but you could have kids. I do fit in there at 5'10", but only a few miles would really be practical. And then you can fold down using that tab there for a little bit more interior storage. So it is nice to have for this style vehicle. It just gives you that added practicality if and when you need it. Now for the steering wheel, we have solid Alcantara, flat bottom with the SS badge. Steering wheel is also heated. There's the cruise control settings. You have favorites and volume, and then there's Bluetooth voice commands and these controls for that gauge cluster. So we will fire it back up. We have the paddle shifters as well. That is one thing to note with all Chevys. The volume always is on. You can't shut that off. But now, looking at the gauge cluster, the tach is on the left side, miles per hour is on that right side. There is some fixed information running across the top of that LCD screen, and then you do have a lot more info that you can go through as well. So we have some trip information that we can monitor. You saw the performance tab. There's music, nav, phone, and settings. So you can go into your launch control as well as some units and customize all of that. Now this model also has a head-up display, so there's some adjustments here where it's showing miles per hour right now. You can pull up the tach, you have a blank page basically, and then there's also the compass and the radio too. Now for the infotainment system, You have all these icons laid out well: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can get into your climates, ambient lighting, My Chevrolet. There's also a split screen too, and then shortcuts underneath. It's laid out very well, pretty simple, but it has everything that you need. There's home, tuning, back, power and volume for that radio. Now these Recaros are also heated and ventilated. Temperature dial is just by twisting the surround for the air vents. Fan speed, where you like the air to go. Everything else is right in the middle. We have suede covering the entire shifter with that rear view camera. You can also shift using the shifter or those paddle shifters that I mentioned. There's traction control and then 4 different driving modes. So just depending on the throttle input that you would like, you can put it into the mode that corresponds. Now there's a 12-volt e-brake, 2 cup holders, and a little bit of storage in that armrest, as well as in the glove box. Now up top, we do have the digital rear view mirror. So if you need a little bit more visibility, just flip that up. There's the controls for that sunroof, as the sunshade is manual adjusting. And as far as visibility goes, you have a pillar there, but you have 2 windows that you can look out of. And then you can also look to the right and to the left of that pillar over that shoulder. But now let's go ahead and take a final drive in the Chevrolet Camaro. And in sport mode, 2nd gear, here we go. Mild acceleration, and it still sounds good. This is a car that, like I said, you can drive every single day. You can take this to the mountains, take it to the track. You have a pretty well-rounded 2-door sports car. If this is something that you're looking to daily drive, if it's your only vehicle, it gives you that added practicality to make it work the best for any situation, really. And the Camaro has so many different trim levels and options that you can go with. You can start off with a base Camaro, even get a 4-cylinder, which is going to cost you low $30,000 range. You can go all the way up to the ZL1s, which are close to 6 figures. Automatic, manual, you have an array of options for this car. So if you are in the market, you are wanting a Camaro, 2024 is going to be it. So spec yours now, get it while you can, because that is going to be the farewell for the Camaro. Now let's just go back to driving it from this angle. Paddles are very responsive. I do wish they were a little bit larger, but they are functional if you want to go with the 10-speed, and the 10-speed seems to be pretty smooth too. So I don't really have any concerns with how it drives with the 10-speed. I'd say it's kind of similar to the Ford 10-speed. And just to look at visibility from the driver's seat here, like I mentioned earlier, we have some small windows. We have a very, very low windshield too. So it's kind of hunkered down feeling, but it's really not all that bad. Even with that rear view camera, which is a huge plus for this. I own an Audi R8, and to me, this visibility is very, very good. It's something that you shouldn't let hinder you from buying this car. And it's also super easy to maneuver. So parking lot situations, things like that, it's going to be easy to maneuver. But let's do one last acceleration. And that is going to wrap it up for our last drive in the 2024 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marion Chevrolet for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.